This is the Norinco Type 54, also known as the Chinese Tokarev, the Chinese TT-33. Now, this pistol is very common in Canada, or I should say it is, but it was much more common in that these were brought in by the truckload. I bought mine back before the freeze kicked in for $200. I saw just before the freeze ended, these were selling for like 150 a piece. These are super, 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 super cheap handguns in Canada. Now, much like the Russian TT-33, this holds 8 rounds. It is not like the Yugoslavian one. It is basically identical in every way. And for the Canadian market, we do not need to install those weird safeties, trigger safeties, or otherwise that you see in the US. This is just a bog standard Type 54 with grip tape and this muzzle brake. Now, this is just a bushing muzzle brake, so it moves with the slide. It is resoundingly effective. I was very surprised by that, but this thing is super long because of it. For comparison, this is a Glock 24, 17L, kind of. It's the 6-inch long Glock. This thing is basically the same size. It is obviously much thinner, but in terms of length, it is basically the same size. So, what is the point of this gun? The point of this gun is fun. This gun is not a home defense gun, no matter how much your Chinese uncle might tell you it is. This gun is not a competition gun, no matter how much this muzzle brake wants it to be. This gun is just going to the range, having some fun, maybe practicing some fundamentals, or maybe learning recoil control. Now, this gun is very different and ergonomically from modern handguns, and I will use the Glock as an example. The position of the safety is such that you really can't press it without shifting your grip slightly, which is not very common on modern guns. The 1911, it depends on the 1911. It's single action only. There's no double action, so if you put the hammer down, nothing's going to happen. It's got the half cock. That's the only safety it has. Otherwise, it is just a regular Type 54. And the slide lock is very small and not very ergonomic. You can use it. Pushing it up is easy, but it's quite a sharp metal, so you're not going to really do anything super serious with it. The other thing, obviously, magazine capacity. It's a single stack 8-round magazine. It is not a modern handgun, but you shouldn't be expecting one, right? So, what can you expect when you're shooting one of these? You can expect a fireball. You can expect a great deal of felt recoil, some pretty crappy iron sights that are still effective, and at least in Canada, relatively cheap ammo. Now, I know in the US, 7.62 by 25 has gotten very expensive because of the Russian import ban, and you haven't had Chinese stuff in a long time. There is still plenty of surplus 7.62 by 25 in Canada, but if that ever dries up, you can buy a 9mm conversion that drops right into a Type 54. Now, it won't work with this muzzle brake, but I have shot it, and it is decent. Quite honestly, the 9mm conversion of it doesn't really feel like it tames the recoil a whole lot. I think that's just the design of the pistol, but it's there. It's there for ammo purposes. Now, you also get your sling loop if, for whatever reason, you're carrying this thing on your wrist. No flared magwell, nothing like that. This is the most bog standard pistol you can get. It at least has a last round bolt hold open. This gun, for what it is pretty damn great. You're not doing anything super serious with it, you're just having fun, but it's $200, and this muzzle brake was like $100. So for $300, you get a actually relatively flat shooting center fire handgun. Iron sights are terrible. You shouldn't expect to do anything with them. I did put a bit of nail polish on the front one to help differentiate it. I do not recommend using that in snow. But otherwise, it's just a fun, cheap handgun. I wish we could still buy these in Canada. I wish in the US you guys didn't have to mutilate them with stupid safeties. At least the trigger safety is not as bad, but I wish you guys still didn't have to do that. So, that is it for this video. This is just a really, really short review of a Type 54. I will have the 1,000-round review of the Type 81 SR in the next week or 2 weeks. And then from there, we'll see going into November. But expect a few more videos coming out by the end of the year. And that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Comment if you have any thoughts on the Type 54, if you have one yourself. What do you think of it? Like the video, subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.